Lead and Be Legendary presents A Nametag Is Necessary.
All right, thank y'all for tuning in to another episode of A Name Tag Is Necessary. I'm your host, Name Tag Alexander. The link to the description, the link is in the description of the show for music and merch. But just to really get right into it, we have one of Detroit's own music producers sitting down with me today, Nasty New. What's going on, good sir?
Yes, sir. What's happening, man? What's happening?
So, man, I'm fresh off the project, man. I remember when we first put it out. This was in November of 2023 because I had literally released Work When Repeat Volume 2, which is crazy because Work When Volume 3, Work When Repeat Volume 3 is out right now. So that's crazy. That was last year. We near November technically in a sense. That's kind of wild. But yeah, I finally first time I skimmed through it, just kind of oh yeah, this is dope, whatever. But then today I really sat with him and was like, I like what he did here. So before we really get into it, man, I like to really get into just icebreakers for the most part before we really get into the meat and potatoes of what this episode going to be about. So what I want you to name me give me 3 songs and a reason for each one. Give me 3 songs that make you feel absolutely great about life, no matter what. And again, just if you can give me a reason for each song.
Oh man, that's a great question, man.
Ain't all got to be rap. You know what I mean? It's just 3 songs that make you feel great about life, no matter what.
Oh man, well, it's so many, man. That's a hard one because I'm my musical genre searches can go around each field and wave. Let me see what just make you feel good, man. Really, like anything from the 70s. It's hard to really pinpoint something. I could get some artists, but it's just something about the old school music kind of just feel good music, and it's different. I don't know. It could be a lot of different songs. I could throw on the 70s playlist, you know what I mean? Or just different things like that. But it's a lot, so it's hard for me to pinpoint like that.
If without overthinking it, and just like you said, you can make a playlist out of it for just the 70s joints, just off what 3 come to mind.
Oh man, I mean, like I said, I had to say Curtis Mayfield. Give Me Your Love.
Okay.
Yeah, anything Curtis Mayfield. Damn, it's so many, man. Because I can go genres, 70s, 80s. I'm a music.
Okay, so let's range from 70s to. So we got one from the 70s. Let's go with the 80s.
80s. That just make you feel good. Oh man. Cool in the Gang, something like that. Celebrate.
Hell yeah.
Something like that, right.
So
that was
90s.
My sister's favorite song, so she used to always play it.
So we talking the 90s, what you got?
90s. Oh man, feel good. Oh man, this is just too many. I don't
90s
know.
is like so fast, bro.
Yeah, that's too many, dog. So it's. I don't know. I had to get into rap, but it's too many raps for me.
What about something that's a recent then?
Recent make me feel good.
$1 Million Baby. No, I'm
just Recently, what made me feel good? What made me feel good a couple years back when that LMA dropped. I ain't gonna lie. When that dropped, that was a feel good record to me.
26. What was that? 2017.
Yeah, that was a classic. No matter how many times they played it, it was still.
Well, I believe it originally dropped 2016. I remember where I might have been at the parking lot of the crib when I first heard that. Because I know, what I specifically remember with that song? The Eclipse, the solar eclipse.
Right.
Yep. And that's where, our president at the time, 45, didn't have a glad looking directly at the sun. I specifically remember that for whatever reason. But outside of that, man, yeah, that was just that might have been like the last time like summer really felt like summertime to me.
You feel me? Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Like that,
and that song had a lot to do with it. It was that, and was that the same? I had to go back and look it up, but whatever summer it was where Black Beatles came out with Ray Shrimmer, like that summer, everybody was doing the mannequin challenge and everything. Like, yeah, man, that's kind of crazy, man. That's interesting that you said that too, man. That's booed up.
When you said feel good, something that like that. I think it's stuff like that, I look at those records like classics and timeless, where you can play
Hell
them
yeah.
over and over. And, that's what everybody be trying to be to make it. Sometimes you can make some one or just some, but, you on the aim for that because those records can be played generation and generation, forever.
Absolutely. So what I want to get into is, man, your backstory, man, because we share like similar artists that we are kind of not, I don't want to say in a circle with, but that we've come across or whatever, right? Whether it's working with them or just knowing them, you know what I'm saying? Tell me your way of getting into, how did you end up getting into music production? Because, a lot of just people like, yo, man, I was rapping. It's always rap for the most part, or because I didn't want to assume, but most people like, yo, I was rhyming first. But like, how did you jump into music production?
Yeah, I think everybody got that, rhyming as a kid though. So
Yeah.
you always gonna have that. And just to let everybody know, if you don't know, every producer can rap. Now that's just a hidden fact, whether they want to rap or not, but
It's there.
That's another story, right?
Yeah.
So me, when I got into it with rap, I used to music period. My father used to play different, instruments for like church and keyboards, and I was always amazed when I heard that. So he did get a keyboard back in the day, so I used to dabble with that and just kept going on and on until high school. You may see a couple cats getting kind of serious and you're like, what's that? And somebody got a Triton or a Trinity or something like that. You start kind of messing with it. You get involved with it. So you kind of fall in love from right there. So I had a couple cats around that was, doing things like you said in the same circle. So
name some names that people would be familiar with.
So I was who was the first play Triton over JUS House? If you ever JUS, Bruce Brigade.
Yeah, shout out.
Sick Notes was a big inspiration. So they from the hometown. So it's all
man.
good. Yeah, just people like that. You seeing stuff start progress. So I just started messing with it, and I kind of fell in love with it, and got kind of decent. Got good.
Around this time, what was the hip hop scene like in Detroit for you? Like who was thriving as far as like whether they were mainstream or underground or in the street? What I guess people consider it street rap in Detroit. Like what time frame was this?
So this was about maybe like 98, 99.
Okay.
I'm still about a senior in high school around that time. So it was Street Lords, Blade. So that was a big thing. Come roll, we banging that. We just emulating that and listening. And then you had the other side because Detroit always had two kind of sides of rap. Everybody know it. Like
still to this day.
Yeah, and hip hop. So it's kind of like, so you always gonna have them different aspects and everything all good because still come out good music. So it was maybe like who was else coming out around that time? I think maybe M was just like dropping around that time. So
he was bubbling for sure. Like 98, 99.
Yeah.
You mentioned that year. That's why I wanted to know the time frame. Immediately I thought of remember Cha-Cha?
Yeah, Cha-Cha.
Yeah, to sing What Y'all Want to Do. Yeah, man.
Yeah, Cha-Cha. So yeah.
That was getting mad radio play too.
For real. Cha-Cha, Lola Damone, I think before that maybe, or somewhere around there. So
yeah, man. So the name Nasty New, and it didn't click in my mind. I was dumb. It didn't click in my mind until I was like, oh, but I'm gonna let you tell the people how the name Nasty New came about. So
partly the name, of course I get nasty out here on the beach or whatever, but the name is part of my last name, so Newberry. So, keep the new in there. You ever hear me say little things like new paper or new this and that? I'm just playing off the name or whatever. But I really got it from my uncle, you know what I'm saying? So my uncle off the east side, him and my pops, they were some wild boys, so they be called the nasty boys, so.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah, they used to get busy with the cars and all of that. So that was really my uncle nickname. My dad used to call him Nasty New, and I'm like, damn, I kind of wanted that name.
That's dope.
OGs.
That's fire.
And one of my boys called me that when he heard the beat. He's like, damn, dog. He said, that's nasty. I was like, there it is. So,
and it's almost like because it felt refreshing because it's slang that it made me think of like when Nas for Nasty Nas, you know what I mean? And it's like nobody call him that no more. It's like that's crazy. Like I always thought that was a fly name. You know what I'm saying? Like
Nas was a big inspiration too. So
Because we used to say it like even with basketball, like let's say you think about like when Vince Carter was like really like cramming on him, we was like, oh, they see that dunk was nasty. Like, and I still catch myself saying it now. I'm like, man, is that like a thing for like our generation? Like, because I don't think like the young
might be,
you know what I
gonna
mean?
say something else nowadays. Who knows what they're gonna come up with? But yeah, we used to always say that. So that's why I kind of kept it around too. I still use my other name, my alias, Nasty New, aka New Paper.
New Paper,
so,
yeah.
You know, I just keep it fresh, but nobody really used Nasty in the game. So when they see it, they know it's me, and you know.
Yeah, man, you got this interesting project out, and I peeped what you did when I really tapped in with the project, and I was like, well, why he ain't type? Oh, I get it. So, man, the project is out. It's titled The Remix Mixtape. And in my mind, I'm like, why would he be like the first time when I listened when you first released it? I'm like, now why would he title this a mixtape? It's on the streaming platforms. And I started, like I said, the first time I was skimming through it, I'm like, oh, okay. And then in this time I really sat with it and was like, oh yeah, he had to title of the mixtape. He had to put it in this format with the song titles. Cause I remember at first, originally I was like, yo, we're gonna talk about your instrumental album. And then I'm like, oh, I see what you did. He dropped the instrumental version of the remix mixtape or whatever. So man, I must say, Countdown, that was the joint. I don't know if you want us to name the names of like who would joints you flipped. And I kind of would rather it be a surprise for the people when they go check out the project so it can click like, oh, I see what he did. And that was smart. I was like, because otherwise, you know what I mean? It would have kind of been difficult. So I was like, that was real clever.
Sure.
So I'm listening to Countdown. And I was like, man, to me, when you hear that style, and I believe it's called a triplet flow of rap, right? And I think the problem was with these artists, they got a lot of slack from the purists in hip hop or whatever. But when you hear them over a beat like that, it's like yo. And I say, you know what it was? I don't think people necessarily had a problem with the style. I think it was just the production that they didn't really take heed to of what they were rhyming over. And it was like, but then when you take like a boom bap or a soulful joint, and then they do that on that. And I'm listening to the project like, man, I wish artists like that could hear this. So, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know what I mean?
I can get what you're saying. So I could elaborate on that. So
yeah,
like you said, I had to kind of format it like that. You know, for one, just to even post some videos, you know, it's like you got to do certain things. I had to take a couple down, but it was like, man, exactly. But it's no different than a DJ would do, you know, just like how they do in remixes.
Yeah, exactly.
Unofficial remix, you know. So, but my thing was, I'm hearing beats that I had, and I'm like, man, I need to get to them. And of course, I done got with different artists that some people may say industry or whatever that, but anyways, I just wanted to do a project to say, let me go ahead and put it together and just put them on the beats that I know that would make them kind of enhance.
Yeah, because I'm listening to it, I'm like, yo, I was like, man, that Countdown, I had to run it back. I was like, man, imagine if we would have heard them over a sound like this from the jump. Nobody would have criticized them like that. No purists would have criticized them like that. It would have been perfectly fine. But because they're from where they are, y'all listen to this podcast and watching this video, it's a reason why we're not like saying the name. So when you go check out the remix mixtape project by Nasty New, you'll understand why we're like, oh, but in hindsight, and it's not too late to do it. You could have put it out through like a platform. Well, see, I don't know how familiar we were with this platform back then. Well, this last year was just crazy. Even platform, even Bandcamp. As far as like if you were talking about like selling it, you know what I'm saying? Like you could have did even, which is I know we see Lil Russell like promoting that a lot now. And shout out to him as well. Bandcamp, of course, that's been around for a minute. But I think that could have did it. I was like, he could have pulled it off. You know what I mean? So man, it was just giving me ideas. I like, dang, imagine if he do it again, like a part. Because you know what's funny? This week I've listened to I probably checked out 2 interviews. Well, I hate calling them interviews. It's not like they trying to get a job or nothing, but 2 conversations on platforms with Pete Rock and Common, because you know they got the auditorium joint out, and I'm just thinking like man, that's interesting because Pete Rock was known heavily during early on for like being like one of the remix kings, him and
Right.
and a lot of people talk about it now, but that was a thing, man. Like people that knew, but yo, a lot of times you weren't touching Pete Rock on a remix of a joint. Like he would take it and make it something like, like shit, him, Primo, you know what I mean?
That was the thing kind of
Dilla
back in,
too.
yeah, Dilla, a lot of people back in the day, because that was more the thing. You know, you might do a remix, you might hear the remix and it sound better than the original.
Yeah, that's
the
a fact.
So, you know,
that is
happens
a fact.
a lot. And it's still a lot of people out there now, because I don't know if it's algorithms or what, but I will see more of the same thing at a remix or people doing the tracks, you know, because it's been done and people still doing it. So I love it. I like to hear that because I like to hear different stuff. People might not get the
felt
opportunity.
refreshing. It really felt refreshing, man. Like, so that makes me bring the question. What do you think about like remixes like today? Do you think, I hate saying that it need to come back, but do you feel as though the remix needs to resurface in the music business? I don't want to say business, but within music today. You know what I mean? Do you feel like that's something? Because that was, remember, like I say, us coming up, that mattered. Like you heard the regular joint on radio, you saw the video for it, and in the back of your mind, you was wondering like, man, I know they doing a remix. I hope they do a remix. Like joints will come out and you knew like it was going to be a remix. And if it didn't come out like on the mainstream level of things, you knew that there was some producer that was known who flipped it, like a Pete Rock, DJ Premier, Jay Dilla. You had folks that would flip the joint. You know what I'm saying? Do you think that needs to resurface today?
I think that needs to resurface today for sure, because it gives it a different aspect. Might give it a different bop. You know what I'm saying? It might give you just something whole new, you know, towards it. And it don't matter what style remix you could put. I didn't heard R&B songs, people rapping on top of it. So it's all kind of stuff. It's like, you know.
Yeah.
So even,
Countdown for sure made me like.
Countdown. Let me say this about that too, because Countdown, that ended up being my favorite joint. So it came out.
It's mine.
Thank you. Thank you for that, man. Because that one came out like perfect how I wanted it to, you know. And so I really appreciated that. And then when I hear the other version, I'll be like, okay, they need to hear mine.
Because they was on that mug floating. I was like, man, if they, oh man, I hope I want them to hear it. Like I wish it gets to them. Paradise was another one.
Yeah,
Paradise was another one where I was like, but with that one, it was dope. But when I heard a joint like A Lot, that's a giveaway right there. If you remember, but I thought about a joint like A Lot, and I was like, well, you know, this makes sense. You know,
makes sense. You know, so it makes sense. So you know, it went right with it, and like you said, it was just something different to do, because I got a lot of beats and I was sitting on some too, and you know, I said, hey, would it be a good way to put out a project, you know, and just do something different that. And you know, because you say, hey, I might want to get this person on here, this person, I can't reach out to them, or I can't get to them. You know, I may can get to somebody else, but it might not work out like that, just for different reasons. But you know, but it is still, once you hear that marriage, the you know, the person on the beat or whoever it be. I got another one too, and that's what I was gonna tell you. I got another one I started on, so I haven't completed it, but you know, that one's in the works, just from anything else I've been doing. But yeah, I got some other dope ones that didn't even make the cut that was cold too.
To me, it makes so much sense. As far like how you say, just making that marriage happen with that particular type of sound, because for the most part the beats were soulful. It was one, because in the matter of fact, it was one that I got it right here in my phone. I don't want to screw up the titles or whatever.
Oh yeah,
I want to say it was Connected. It was Connected. That was the one where I was like, oh, he ain't go as soulful with this. So that let me know that you can weave in and out of the sounds, whatever. I said, oh, I see what you was flexing the different types of styles throughout this project, but for the most part, it was still boom bap. So it still had like what we would consider here in the Midwest a Southern bounce. You know what I mean? And it brings me right back to a joint like Paradise or Countdown or whatever. And I was like, yo. Then I thought about this in the middle of listening to it. I was like, Because I remember when you first put it out, I was like, hey, why he not promoting this like like most folks? I'm like, it's
though,
interesting.
but look, like my thing is, I was like, me first promote. I don't know. I probably should have promoted it better. And
No, but I know
that's the
why
learning
now.
experience
I
part,
get
right?
why. And you said it early on. You was like, yo, they you know, they hit me. I had to take a couple joints down.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, it makes sense. But you know how you counter that? Get you an email list, man, through MailChimp. Get you like people that's gonna connect with you there as opposed to social media. Because they've hit me taking my own music down. Like we've muted, like on TikTok. I'm like, yo, what's going on?
Like, this
Yeah,
my
we
music.
muted this. Like it's happened on Facebook. Like matter of fact, I did it yesterday. I did a live stream test, playing Work When Repeat Volume 3.
Right.
And I'm through symphonic distribution as of recent. And they had it to where you can do this thing called a Allowist. Because I believe listeners that's familiar can correct me if I'm wrong, but it's like if it's whitelisted, then that means if somebody plays your music on YouTube or social media or whatever, they can get hit with a copyright strike or whatever because they don't have the rights to play your music or whatever, depending on how long they play it on their stream or podcast or whatever. But then there's on the flip side, there's something called Allowist, where with Symphonic, and I'm pretty sure other platforms do it as well. And they basically you can have your music, like let's say if you ran a stream and you decided to play my music, they're likely not to hit you with a copyright strike or whatever. But I still get paid off those streams or whatever. So like, or if you add, you know how TikTok is anyway, like you add it, but like let's say if I took a song, embedded it in a video, but I didn't use it from the TikTok song selection of that would have mine in there because distribution platforms all include TikTok now. If I don't include it from the platform that's TikTok, but I do the video, add the song in the background of it, they'll be like, yo, we muted the music because this contains music that's, you know, belongs to this artist or whatever that. And it's like, what? So with Allowist through symphonic distribution, they have it to where your music can be played. They have that relationship with Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube where I can play it, or let's say you can play it, and the video not get taken down, but I still get I still get paid off my royalties per that stream. It's interesting how it works. So I tested it on Facebook, and when I went back to look, it was like usually it would happen like this. They'll hit you with the message and say, we block this music in select countries because this is on, and then it'd be like, oh, you got to fill this out, XYZ or whatever. It's like this little tedious process. But now, because of the allowance option, it's like, yo, we blocked this music in any countries. If you feel as though this was done incorrectly, just click this box here, boom, and that was it. And they freed it back up. I'm like, oh, that's how that worked. YouTube, same thing. It didn't happen at all. I say, yo, this is kind of dope. So my game plan is to just now, like if I want to do like like I did a listening session for the EP last month, and I did it through Bandcamp. Now Bandcamp is dope. I got a decent following over there, but because a lot of people further that just stream music on Apple Music, Spotify, or whatever.
Right.
You know, yeah, a few people pop in, but it was kind of like, dang, I wish you couldn't do this on Instagram. And it was like, Instagram is so tedious because like the way you do it, if you do it through your phone, it's like, let's say if somebody want to jump in, you're like, yo, I'm about to pop in and join or whatever. I can't add you on right now on my live because it's going to mess it up. So I was like, all right, how can I do this? So I tried to do it. StreamYard allows it, but it's like this whole process. So you got to download. It was just too much. I'm like, never mind.
Work. Right.
So it's easier to do it on YouTube. So I said, okay, for the future reference, what I'll just do is more than likely just play my music on YouTube. Everybody got YouTube. Just pop in that way and listen to it. So that's something you might consider doing. I don't know if you, with the instrumental version, because I know for sure, like I can imagine, like how you said, they took it down, you played them vocals, they like, you ain't slick, like copyright strike. Like,
so everything had to be removed. If, it was names and all of that. So, just like you said, for those reasons. But yeah, man, a lot of this stuff I don't know about. You know what I'm saying? So it's so much new stuff. I'm just learning about stuff. Then something else come out. So
Man,
Nah,
get on it, man.
like you said,
These
if you up on it, put me up on it. But
hey
no,
man, these
I'm getting
producers,
up
you better
on it
get
every
on
day
it.
though. So
Cause these producers on Instagram, they on there. They doing
telling
the
you,
videos, just playing beats, and they got it edited and everything through the reels. Take
yeah,
advantage of it, man. I hate
you
it.
got
Like
to.
like
You
when
got
I
to.
do the videos and it's me like rhyming. I don't even like looking directly to the camera because it feels so good. And that's just me being like, I guess old. Like I don't like looking into the camera, rapping like yo, and some. I hate it. I don't even like when I see other people do it. I'm like, cause you recording this, either somebody recording you or you doing it. So to me, the ones that look dope is when the artists are kind of like turned at an angle when they doing it, because it's almost like you in a booth recording something. That just seems better to me. Absolutely. So I'm trying to kind of adapt and get used to that, because I hate I don't know, but people be into it though. When anybody else do it, they be like, yo, fire, and they be like, all right, man, I guess this the way. You know, you just gotta adapt or die, I guess, in a sense. It's weird.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, hey, if you don't adapt, you're gonna get left in the wind though.
Real. And then you end up being that person that's sitting there like, oh man, that's garbage, man. That was back in my day. We sold CDs hand to hand, and it's like, man, that's yeah, all right. They ain't doing that no more like
those
that.
Dinosaur activities, yeah, and that's the thing, man. You got to change with the times and learn about this stuff. So it's everyday learning. You never too old to learn. So that's the thing. Get around.
Every day is school.
Exactly.
Every day is school.
Learn it. Get around people that's doing it or that know about it. So you ain't.
I'm able to appreciate like what was. Yeah. And what it's fuck. I was trying to think of the Thanos quote from Infinity. I think it was it might have been Endgame. Like those who can never let go of what was, they'll never appreciate what can be. Something along those lines. I'm butchering the line, but it's something Thanos said in Endgame or whatever that I thought was fire. Like, yo, he had some fire lines in that movie, man. But I'm trying. I learned to like appreciate like this was the past, like moving CDs hand to hand, or hell, even when people was dubbing tapes or like burning CDs, handing out CDs or whatever. That just ain't what it is no more. I know vinyl was popping. I get that's a thing, whatever, but you really gotta have like an audience that's gonna buy vinyl. You know what I mean? I did it a couple times. It was successful, but it's like it's hard though. You know what I mean? Like just to, hey man, I got the vinyl, but people, I don't got no vinyl player. But you got the collectors. It's like put it like this. It's a group of people for everything. Like nothing is everything. Like exactly. Yeah. It's never a man. Ain't nobody doing it no more. There are people that will still buy cassette tapes just to have it as a collectible. You know what I mean? Absolutely. CDs, I don't know, because that's still kind of like not, it's old, but it's not as old to where people are just like, this is vintage. You know what I mean? It is vintage to us. We know. We had the CD booklets and everything, flipping through and thumbing. But I don't know, man. It's just I'm learning now just to adapt and appreciate what was, and just from even with AI. Like now I'm not about to have no AI write my verse.
I want to get into that. Because that's a whole nother thing, because once people start using that, you know, that's gonna be out of here. So
that's the scary shit.
And it's unregulated right now. So
and I see now though, because what I was worried about was, damn, is the music industry gonna do what they did before with illegal downloading and streaming and just kind of ignore it and then adapt to it at the last minute and just fold and be like, well, this is what people are doing, so streaming it is. You know what I mean? But I feel like they jumped on that so late, but now I do see that they're taking steps to kind of like try to not let AI do what it's going to do, as far as it being ridiculous, because it is a tool that can help, like when it comes to your mixes and all that type of shit or whatever, like just aligning stuff correctly when producing a trial. Damn, I got to copy and snap the part right in place without the loop being off or whatever, like stuff like that. But just like, yo, the AI wrote your verse. Like what? Or the AI did the entire beat for you? No, like come on, man. We still got to be creatives and artists at the end of the day. But I can go on and on about this, man. But like, so do you plan on doing another one like this, like a volume 2?
Yeah, I plan on doing another one. You know, I was gonna have it out already by now, but I was like, I had stopped. Actually, just started doing some other stuff. But I got a couple other tracks right now, so. I got some nice ones, and like I said, I had some ones I left off of the other one, and the only reason they might have got left off, they wasn't bad tracks, but it was like maybe it didn't fit the vibe or what the album. You know, like you said, how most of them was more soulful beats with samples or different things like that. So
you didn't overdo it with the the length of the project. I think it was like
Absolutely.
11, maybe 12 joints. I was like, this is perfect. You know what I mean? So didn't overdo it there. But man, great project, man. Do another one. Excuse me. Do another one and let me know, man. Cause I'm interested in just like not even like just like, all right, we'll do this here and like use this the platform where you want to do this here. Like,
hey, teamwork make the dream work.
Man.
Put it like that. But no, I got that coming. So the second one you're gonna hear, it's got some legends on there too. And that's
bro, you get on IG or TikTok and play them flips.
Yeah,
people gonna go crazy. Like, yo, that's dope. You know what I'm saying? Like, boom, project out. Go here to get it. Put it on your own website. Oh, I got an email list. Join the email list. I'll shoot it to you. Matter of fact, I got a box link. I got a Dropbox link or something like that. Here you go. You want it directly, whatever. Here you go. You know what I'm saying? Throw me this amount of money. Now I'll shoot you the link. $5. Here go the link right there if you want the whole joint.
Oh, that's a whole look. That's a whole nother podcast, bro.
Yeah, I know. I'm going.
Look,
we tell them
that's another thing. Got to find a way to get around this new thing going on. It ain't new, but it's streaming. You know what I'm saying? So
exactly.
And you know, like you said, physical copies. Who really got a CD player? But besides that, you still have to have something physical or some type of whatever it is that can match that where you can make the money. Exactly.
That's a fact, man.
So because other than that, the way it's looking, it's not looking good.
Man, yeah, you definitely. It's definitely another podcast. I've abandoned my notes and got into it. Like I was starting looking away. All right,
another podcast.
Yeah, for sure, man. But in the meantime, like I said, I was going to keep you for about 30, man. Let the people know where they can find you at on the socials if you got a direct website and where they can find the project.
Oh yeah. Go to, for one, I didn't even get into that either. guapmagazine.com. That's another entity. So check that out. That's the website, put together by me, my co-founder BZ. So check that out. I'm Nasty New on IG. You can check that out. I have different projects, some of the videos and tracks on there from the project. Nasty New mixtape album, remix album, like Alex said. And then other than that, we can go ahead and put it for what's that? Part 2 coming soon. What else? The instrumental. So that was another thing I didn't touch on.
Yeah, the instrumental project is out there.
You got the instrumental project too. So same name, Nasty New remix mixtape album, and this one is the instrumental. And that way you can get all the beats that was on there from the original project.
Yes, sir.
Check it out too. We got different projects coming. Me and Beezy. Dropping different projects. Check that out. So that's just me and the hometown team. So Guap Magazine. We also got music, media, everything like that. Did a track for New Era Detroit. My main man Zeke, putting in major work out here. So check that out on YouTube.
Tight.
Knowledge on there, GMAC Cash, where to work at. So so we just still doing, still out here doing other things. So but yeah, I got the new project that's gonna be coming soon. I'll definitely let you know, man. And I appreciate you. Appreciate you, my brother.
Likewise, y'all know y'all can find me at Nametag Alexander across all platforms. The website, it's in the link of the link. I always say that wrong. The link is in the description of this episode. www.anametagisnecessary.com. Until the next time, it's been another episode of A Name Tag Is Necessary. Peace.
A Name Tag Is Necessary.